Welcome to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show, where you get advice you can trust from the Capital Region's leading experts in real estate and all related fields. From the latest real estate trends to the best mortgage rates, from curb appeal to home warranty, this is the talk show that will help you save and make the most when it comes to buying or selling your most valuable asset. Now, here's your host, broker and founder of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, the property shop, John Bevilacqua.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Johnny Gabriel.
Hey, buddy.
What's going on? You got your suntan lotion ready for today or what?
The sun's going to go away.
It's like the New York State of Florida today. I mean, it's
well, yeah, it's 60, 61 maybe. So.
I can't
amazing,
believe it. I can't believe it. My daughter.
But it's only one day.
My daughter wants to go swimming today. I'm like, all right, let's settle down
here
for a second, okay? Let's settle down. So anyway, Johnny, we got a good show today. We got a new guest.
Yeah,
we got Mike Demasi over here.
Hey, Mike.
I'm going to introduce him in a second. He's
right.
We got a news story we're going to talk about today. I think it's going to be really interesting. It's actually hyper local. It's something that, if you're from the Capital Region, you know about the Central Warehouse, right, John?
Yeah,
right.
My gosh! Yeah.
Everybody gets a chuckle out of the old Central Warehouse.
I know. Yeah, all you have to do is say Central Warehouse, and people kind of roll their eyes.
They roll their eyes.
And
yeah,
you're right, laughing. Yeah.
Yeah. So Mike's a reporter for the Albany Business Review, and he did a great article on Central Warehouse. We're going to get into that, but before we do, hey, Mike, say hi.
Hey, good morning.
How you doing?
Great. Thanks for having me on.
Good to have you. We didn't forget about you.
I knew.
And we won't.
We won't. Trust me. Okay, so listen, before we get into it, I just want to let everybody know, hey, the reason why, I'm up, Mike's up at 8:30 in the morning is our goal with the show is to bring the listeners of the Capital Region that have an interest in real estate, that are thinking about selling one of their properties or buying a property. We want to bring them the most up-to-date information, market conditions, tips, tricks, stories about old broken down warehouses and the future of those locations. And more importantly, just being successful when buying or selling a home. It's what I've been doing for about 20 years now. Mike's been Mike, how long have you been reporting for?
Over 30 years.
Over 30 years. So we got some experience in the street today.
Yeah,
and hey, look,
great.
I'm not bragging. I'm just applying for the job of helping you buy or sell a home. So we're going to take a quick sponsor break. When we get back, we're going to talk to Mike and get into our story.
To schedule an appointment with John Bevilacqua to help you buy or sell your home, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. John will be right back with more of the Your Home Sold Guarantee radio show here on Magic 100.5 and AM 590.
Hey, it's John Tesh. If you're thinking of selling your home, let me take the stress out of deciding which agent to hire. In the Capital Region, the agent I recommend is John Bevilacqua, founder of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty at the Property Shop. So for 2 decades, John has helped more than 2,500 families buy and sell the place they call home. That's a solid track record, one that's backed up by dozens of 5-star reviews. Hello. In fact, John is so confident in his marketing system to attract the right buyer for your home that he guarantees to sell it at a price and deadline you agreed to, or he's going to buy it himself for cash. And he provides that guarantee in writing. The agent I trust is John Bevilacqua, and he's the agent you should trust too. His name is his promise. Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. So write this number down. It's 518-957-SOLD. That's easy. 518-957-7653. Or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. I love that one. johnnyhasthebuyers.com, and you'll get your home sold guaranteed.
Buying or selling the place you call home can be stressful. When you have questions, you don't want to wait for answers. Well, for 20 years, Kim Salerno and her team at Salerno Law have built a solid reputation with buyers, sellers, and real estate agents as fast, respectful communicators. They know Salerno Law will protect their rights and respond quickly when a question arises. Trust Salerno Law. Call 518-309-3404 and check out their 5-star reviews at SalernoLawNY.com.
Hi, I'm Matthew Stonecipher, owner of Ace Home Inspections. Whether you're buying or selling a home, let your agent know that you want to work with Ace Home Inspections because you insist on the best home inspection services in the Capital Region. You can also expect a home warranty, pest inspection, and mold assessment included at no additional cost. You deserve better than just a guy in a truck with a notepad. At Ace Home Inspections, we are fully staffed and here for you when you call 518-727-7091 or visit us online at acehomeny.com.
If you're buying or selling your home and would like to schedule an appointment with John, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. Now back to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show and your host, John Bevilacqua.
All right, guys, we are back learning about some tricks and secrets of the radio from Johnny G on the break there. Interesting stuff, man. I'm telling you, like a ventriloquist. Yeah. So anyway, Mike Demasi. Mike, how you doing this morning, man?
Doing great, John. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, I'm so excited to have you on here because it's like, we've been kind of searching for a reporter or somebody that's really, tied into real estate. Like, give us a little bit about your background, Mike. Like, how long you've been reporting for? Has it always been real estate?
Sure. So I grew up in Troy, and after I got back from college, started working at local newspapers. At some of the dailies, covering like City Hall and other beats. And then in 2005, I went over to the Albany Business Review, and I've been covering commercial real estate and other beats since then. So it's been a great opportunity for me to learn a lot from guys like you.
Yep.
That's what I rely on is people I consider to be the experts. To keep me informed as to what's going on, and I try to turn that around into news stories so that our readers can also stay on top of what's happening.
Yeah, and that's how we got hooked up, right? From the that property on Henry Johnson Boulevard that changed hands like within 30 days of each other.
Right.
No, it was a good story. I mean, not to take up too much time on that, but it was a mixed use property that I had sold, and literally the day after the closing, I had another buyer call me up and ask me if it was still available. I'm like, well, just close. He's like, well, the seller's selling it. I'm like, yeah, I mean, if the number's right. So Mike had called me. He's like, how the heck did this go down? I'm like, oh. It's a good story. It's a long story, and we told it. So, Did you? Did you? When the business review called me, did you say, "Hey, look, I want to do real estate"? Was that an interest, or was kind of?
I wasn't looking to leave. I was covering the state capitol for the Daily Gazette.
Okay,
and but just like circumstances were such that it was like this was a good opportunity for me to make a switch, and I'm really. Glad that I did.
Yeah.
Very fortunate that I did because I really enjoy working at the Business Review. And we've got a very loyal readership. It was a little intimidating at first because I was never really a business reporter.
Okay.
But what you find is that regardless of what beat you're writing about, it's all the same kind of tools that you need. You need to be able to learn about the topic. You need to be able to reach out to people who know their stuff. And to listen and to learn and then to try to write like concise, accurate stories about what's happening. So, and the other thing that was neat was just because of the reputation of the paper, I was able to get access to people that maybe would not have returned my phone calls.
That's a good point.
When I was working at the dailies.
Right.
Business leaders. So having that access is key, to doing any reporter job.
Right. Yeah. That makes, and it's like you said, it's like opening up doors and opportunities with people that are experts in that field. So what is it about, now that you you've been transitioning for a while now, but what is it about real estate that kind of, gets you excited for these stories and stuff?
Well, the great thing about commercial real estate is every business touches real estate, whether you own or lease, right? You need a place, a physical place.
Yeah.
So, on a day-to-day basis, I'm trying to stay on top of, are there significant property sales that are happening? Who's buying? Who's selling? Are there development deals? Where are some opportunities that people may have if they're looking to invest in buildings or in property? It's something that it's kind of never ending.
Yeah.
There's always more stuff for me or more stories for me to pursue than I have time. It feels, which is great.
You never run out of content.
I'm in a lot of trouble if I run out of things to write about. And I won't.
And you
won't run out of things to write about.
Yeah, because real estate's just it's a never ending.
Yeah, whether it's up or down or there's something happening.
So I guess what's the takeaway after covering this stuff for so long? And again, I'm not looking for accuracy here, but how is the condition of commercial real estate in the capital region, and what's the future?
Well, it depends. Whether you're talking about the office sector,
right?
Apartments.
Point.
Think about the thousands of apartments that have been built in this region over the past 15 or 20 years, right? And it seems like there's kind of this insatiable demand for new product, for new units, and they seem to get filled up almost as fast as they're built.
Still amazes me.
Yeah. But if you're in the office sector right now, things are obviously a little bit softer because of remote work. But, there was stats that came out this week that our vacancy rate is, I think it's about 12.5% for all the offices. I think it's like over 35 million square feet of office space in the region.
Wow.
And if you were to look back over the past 4 years, pre-pandemic to today, that occupancy rate hasn't changed very much. There's some stability there.
Yeah, that is interesting, right?
Yeah. So, there's certainly fewer people, I think, on a day-to-day basis that are sitting in an office. We go in 3 days a week. The other 2 days we work from home. And I think that's very common now with a lot of other employers. But the business is still paying the rent. You're still leasing that space. You just may not have as many people physically in the office.
Right.
As you used to.
Hence Albany Broadcasting Company over here, right? You guys got like 50 cubicles back there, but...
We do have a lot of cubes,
Yep.
but actually we're kind of unusual because we're here usually 5 days a week.
Right.
The whole staff.
Yeah, the whole staff.
So, that's how we work around here. But everybody has their own way of doing it.
Yep.
Yeah, right. Since COVID, look at the big changes.
Yeah, it's true.
We've seen a lot of offices that have shrunk down to almost, from 10 rooms to 2.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of places like that. There are a couple of radio companies, which I won't mention here in this area, that have done that.
Yep.
Seriously cut back their real estate.
Yep. So keep going, Mike. Sorry.
Okay. No. I just had a story the other day about what's happening, like, say, with hotels.
Another sector.
Who wanted to build a hotel 3 years ago? Nobody.
Yeah.
Right? It didn't make sense. You couldn't get the financing for it. And now, that occupancy rates are starting to rebound. Developers have seen hey, let's start putting some money back into that product.
Mm-hmm.
So I think regardless of what industry sector, there's always kind of this ebb and flow.
Right.
And for me, again, it always provides something to write about, something to, to call people like you and ask questions like, hey, what's going on? Fill me in.
Yep.
And then using that information to help our readers because they're business people,
Did going back to kind of the vacancy with the office stuff and tying it into retail, did retail get hit as hard as office did with Amazon, pandemic, delivery? Obviously Amazon, that whole phenomenon was happening long before COVID, right? I think, obviously COVID then just kind of ramped it up. More stuff. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Now, what it did was really fed the demand for warehouses.
Right.
Because you needed a place to store the stuff before then you just, delivered it to somebody's home. So the warehouse sector has been phenomenal in this region. Mm-hmm. Retail is varied.
Yeah.
There are still people that go to stores because that's what they want to do. They want to, touch and feel the product right before they buy it.
Mm-hmm.
But you and I, know that so many people also just rely on buying stuff online because of the convenience of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's definitely, I think, two sides to that as far as where people are spending their time and money. People like this idea of being in other people's company, having these experiences. Mm-hmm. And so you see places like Crossgates that have invested a lot of money to, to give people a place to go and have something fun to do, not necessarily, go and buy a shirt. You know? So they have to change with the times.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, they've adjusted their strategy in a lot of the malls.
Oh, yeah.
But even still, they're suck and win. There's still a lot of closed doors, vacancies. I mean, that Sears space that got filled at Colony with the flooring store, at least it did get filled.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we need that much flooring in the capital region, but I don't know. It seemed like, all right, well, let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
See if they last. But yeah, it's been interesting how commercial real estate has kind of, and that's how I got my start. I started in multifamily for really the first, it never ended, but the first solid 10 years of my career was selling apartment houses, so I can relate. I can relate pretty well to it. But yeah, but the big topic is this big old hunking gray piece of concrete metal that's falling apart, and is it coming down, Mike? What's going on?
Well, that's the plan now.
That is the plan.
That's the plan. But then there's a lot of other things you have to think about.
There's
who's going to pay for that?
Who's going to pay for it? What's the politics behind it? Yeah. And guess what? We're going to get all into that in the second half of the show. Listen, I'm putting this out there now. It's a call-in show, guys. You know this. 518-476-5900. Give us a call. I know you got an opinion about Central Warehouse. Just get on the phone with us. Let's ask Mike some questions. We're going to take a break right now. When we get back, we're going to get right into it.
To schedule an appointment with John Bevilacqua to help you buy or sell your home, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. John will be right back with more of the Your Home Sold Guarantee radio show here on Magic 100.5 and AM 590.
Finding the right mortgage can be stressful. What's really the best rate? Which term makes sense? Hi, I'm Ben Forcucci at Freedom One Funding in Latham. We work with 10 different lenders who provide 100 different mortgage products. I'll listen to what your needs are, and then I'll do the work to find the right option for your particular situation. We have special expertise in helping first-time home buyers. So eliminate the stress and call me today at 542-LOAN. I'm Ben Forcucci from Freedom One Funding, and I'll do the shopping for you. Call 542-LOAN.
Buying or selling the place you call home can be stressful. When you have questions, you don't want to wait for answers. Well, for 20 years, Kim Salerno and her team at Salerno Law have built a solid reputation with buyers, sellers, and real estate agents as fast, respectful communicators. They know Salerno Law will protect their rights and respond quickly when a question arises. Trust Salerno Law. Call 518-309-3404 and check out their 5-star reviews at SalernoLawNY.com.
If you're buying or selling your home and would like to schedule an appointment with John, call 518-957-SOLD or go to JohnnyHasTheBuyers.com. Now back to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show and your host, John Bevilacqua.
Okay, guys, we're back. We're sitting here with Mike Demasi from the Albany Business Review. We are going to get into the Central Warehouse controversy here in downtown Albany. But before we get into that, it feels like spring, Johnny. I'm in a t-shirt and sweats right now. Yeah. Like it's spring is, I don't know if it's really here yet, but it's pretty darn close. And you know, with that in mind, if anyone's looking to sell right now, and I know people are getting the itch. I mean, the spring market's coming quick. You definitely want to give us a call. I mean, talk to us about our price guarantee. So if for some reason we're not able to sell your house at your price and in your time frame, I will pay you the difference for any money difference from sale price to the price that we agreed upon. So it's a great opportunity. All that's in writing. It's part of our guaranteed sale plan. Now, option 2, if you're simply looking to just cash out, you got a short timetable, you're getting relocated, or you just don't want to be bothered with cleaning out the house, lifting a finger, our instant multiple cash offer program is the solution. You guys got to give us a call about that. You can even stay in your house for an extended period of time. So if you need to cash out, haven't found the next home that you want to move into, we'll let you stay in the house, we'll cash you out, and then buy the house when you're ready to buy it. And we're not talking about wholesale offers. I mean, these are close to market, if not sometimes above market offers that we're bringing, and not just one. We're talking multiple offers, and they're drew a blank here, Johnny.
It's okay. It's okay.
There's no obligation to sell. That's what I meant to say. So it's a free service, no obligation to sell.
Yeah.
Our cash offer price ranges start at $25,000. They go up to $3 million. So these aren't flipper offers, is what I'm trying to say. These are real offers we can put in your pocket, cash you out, and let's get into the Central Warehouse. So let's call it show, guys. 476-5900, 476-5900. We got Mike Demasi, and we're gonna jump right into it, Mike. So John had a question. He was asking who's going to pay for this teardown of the Central Warehouse.
Yeah.
So the owners of the property are going to be applying to the state to try to get something through what's called the Restore New York program.
Okay.
Now, just to back up a little bit, the city of Albany was designated that they would be able to get up to $10 million a couple of years ago that could be used toward the redevelopment of the property. Because at that point, it was thought that that there was the feasibility.
That was
this
the
building
talk,
could actually be turned into like apartments and commercial space.
Right.
But over the past year, the owners came to the realization that it just wasn't feasible. The walls are like buckling,
crumbling.
And, I mean, literally pieces falling down.
Yeah.
And they realized that they would need like another I guess it was about $30 million in additional public money to actually renovate this building.
Yeah. Crazy.
Just so they decided, well, instead, we're going to pursue a demolition. So the city of Albany notified the state that they were basically relinquishing this designation that they had gotten for this grant money.
Right.
And so now a new application will be submitted in the coming months, seeking funding to offset the cost of a tear down. And the initial estimates, I was told, was anywhere from like $8 million to I think it was like upwards of 20 or 25 million.
Ooh.
And it's a big spread there because the hope is that they'll be able to recycle this concrete so it doesn't all wind up in a landfill.
Okay,
because if it goes in a landfill, they got to truck it out of town. You can just imagine, the cost to do all that,
and the fact that it's right next to an Amtrak track.
Yeah, but there are these demolition experts out there that I'm sure
they can learn to work around it. Yeah.
And it's not like they're going to like implode it either. They're going to have to like take this thing down
piece by piece.
Yeah, So that's going to be expensive.
Yeah, for sure.
A labor of love
for many. Yes.
Yeah, the Albany skyline will certainly look different, but in a good way.
Will. Yeah, in a good way. Yeah, for sure.
And then, of course, what are they going to do with the property once everything is down and cleaned up and?
That's the real question.
And who owns it? Is it the city of Albany? Is it the owner of the building?
Right now it's owned by this entity called CW Skyway, which is a combination of Redbird Development Company and Columbia Development, who are two very large, successful development companies in the area with a long track record and resources. So what the intention is after it's demolished, the land... It's like 1.4 acres. That parcel will be turned back to Albany County because it was Albany County that transferred the ownership to CW Skyway for $50,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it would go back to Albany County, and then the question is, okay, well, what's the county going to do with it?
So it's Albany County, not city.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. It's Albany because Albany County was owed like more than $500,000 in property taxes on it, and that's why they seized the building from the prior owner and then sold it to the current owner for $50,000. So now that area of the city is in what's known as the Warehouse District, which has had some redevelopment over the past 10, 15 years with some bars and restaurants and. The old Huck Finn warehouse furniture store was turned into apartments.
Yeah, and they keep improving on that property, and it's looking good.
Yeah, so, there's certainly, like, interest and potential for this parcel. The other thing is, you guys may be familiar with this idea of trying to build a canal through downtown Albany.
That's Hudson a new one.
I read about that. I heard about that.
We already have one, the Erie Canal.
Well, I mean, long ago,
it's going to be like San Antonio.
Part of the canal went right through there,
right? Like San Antonio.
That is the concept. Is basically to have this waterway, that flows through downtown. It would be an attraction. Give something for people to go do and see.
You go tubing today with the 60-degree weather. That's for sure.
So like maybe the first part of that piece of that big plan would be this area where the central warehouse is located because that area is where the original Lock 1 of the Erie Canal is located.
Right, Really?
And it's buried, like, apparently it's not too far below ground. If they started to excavate it.
Yeah, they'll find stuff.
So it's under the central warehouse?
Well, not under the central warehouse itself, but near the central warehouse.
Okay.
Yeah. But, that's also going to be something that's going to take a huge amount of money and commitment, to kind of see that through. Yeah. So it's all like to be determined.
Okay,
I think at this point.
Right. Okay.
Wow.
But first things first, I suppose, and that's tearing it down.
You got to get it down. So, outside of like this whole canal concept, or something as I don't know, hokey as that would be. I mean, it'd be interesting if we pulled it off, but. I know that the Common Council has had this whole inclusionary zoning ordinance now that they've kind of put across Albany County or Albany City.
Yeah.
I mean, did that affect CW
there were three
Skyway?
Factors.
Yeah. Okay.
There were three factors. They said one was the higher cost of borrowing money because of interest rates. Two was just the higher expense of potentially renovating this, and this inclusionary zoning law, which is basically something that there was already in existence in the city of Albany for several years. And the idea is to try to make a portion of new market rate apartments set the rents at a level that would be more affordable to people with lower incomes. And when the Common Council revised that ordinance last year, they essentially increased the ratio of the number of apartments that would have to meet this standard. And so when you kind of run the numbers in terms of how much rent a landlord could get from their apartments and versus how much it would cost to renovate or build new apartments, so now the math wasn't working out.
Yeah.
And so that was one of the factors that.
Hold that thought, Mike.
Yes.
We got to take a spot break, and we're gonna finish this conversation in a sec.
To schedule an appointment with John Bevilacqua to help you buy or sell your home, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. John will be right back with more of the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show here on Magic 100.5 and AM 590.
Hi, I'm Matthew Stonecipher, owner of Ace Home Inspections. Whether you're buying or selling a home, let your agent know that you want to work with Ace Home Inspections because you insist on the best home inspection services in the capital region. You can also expect a home warranty, pest inspection, and mold assessment included at no additional cost. You deserve better than just a guy in a truck with a notepad. At Ace Home Inspections, we are fully staffed and here for you when you call 518-727-7091 or visit us online at acehomeny.com.
Finding the right mortgage can be stressful. What's really the best rate? Which term makes sense? Hi, I'm Ben Forcucci at Freedom One Funding in Latham. We work with 10 different lenders who provide 100 different mortgage products. I'll listen to what your needs are, and then I'll do the work to find the right option for your particular situation. We have special expertise in helping first-time home buyers. So eliminate the stress and call me today at 542-LOAN. I'm Ben Forcucci from Freedom One Funding, and I'll do the shopping for you. Call 542-LOAN.
Buying or selling the place you call home can be stressful. When you have questions, you don't want to wait for answers. Well, for 20 years, Kim Salerno and her team at Salerno Law have built a solid reputation with buyers, sellers, and real estate agents as fast, respectful communicators. They know Salerno Law will protect their rights and respond quickly when a question arises. Trust Salerno Law. Call 518-309-3404 and check out their 5-star reviews at SalernoLawNY.com.
If you're buying or selling your home and would like to schedule an appointment with John, call 518-957-SOLD or go to johnnyhasthebuyers.com. Now back to the Your Home Sold Guaranteed radio show and your host, John Bevilacqua.
Okay, guys, we're back, and Mike was just finishing a point. We're talking about the central warehouse in downtown Albany and kind of the future of the site. We know that it's coming down. There was, some decisions that the developers did make to take it down, and we were talking about this inclusionary zoning ordinance that the Common Council of the City of Albany had put into effect, and financially it just didn't make sense at that point to kind of put it in summary. Correct, Mike?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. At the end of the day, so the cost of an apartment redevelopment. And I think that's been the case for a lot of apartment developers in the city of Albany right now. So they're just not able to make the numbers work because of this.
Well, it's certainly one of the factors.
Yeah.
It's not the only factor, because everybody's dealing with the higher costs of construction materials, labor, borrowing, so I don't think you can pin it just on that.
Okay.
But it is, again, it's part of the equation.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to build a large number, like over 100 units.
Yep.
I mean, if you're only doing 20 units, I mean, the number of units that you have to set aside for this inclusionary zoning could work out to 1 or 2.
It's nominal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the larger scale stuff.
But at the end of the day, I mean, the story's not over with this yet, though. Correct? I
No.
mean,
Well,
it hasn't come down.
We're
not.
It's one of the great things about my job.
Right.
It's I can continue to follow this along. You know? And in fact, believe it or not, the former owner, Evan Bloom, is still fighting in federal court over the way in which this property was seized by the county.
Yeah.
And that has yet to play out. Now, I don't know what the ramifications will be, when a ruling is made on that.
Yeah.
But again, there's just another piece of this.
And it could be years before we see anything.
Well, I think, yes,
maybe
that's
not
safe
years,
to say.
but a long time.
No, I think it could be years before we see anything. By the time the building is taken down, and by the time some kind of redevelopment plan is proposed, and then how and who and what
well, we're gonna have to save that for another episode. And I got a good story about Evan Blum, personal interaction I had with him. But anyway, guys, Mike, awesome show.
Thank you, Mike.
This is gonna be a great relationship to have on upcoming shows. So I'm excited to have you on. Thanks for coming in. We got 10 seconds. Thanks again, guys. Your Home Sold Guaranteed Radio Real Estate Talk Show. Mike Demasi, Johnny G, and me, John Bevilacqua. Have a great night.
The Your Home Sold Guaranteed Radio Show is presented by Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, the property shop. Join broker and founder John Bevilacqua every Saturday morning at 8:30 to hear about the latest real estate trends here in the capital region, where to find the best mortgage rates, home insurance, home warranties, and more. To speak to John about buying or selling your home, call now to schedule an appointment. 518-957-SOLD. That's 518-957-7653. Or go to JohnnyHasTheBuyers.com. That's JohnnyHasTheBuyers.com.